Hey, Seeker, welcome to the Awakening Her podcast. I am so grateful that you've been led here, and I'm excited for you that you're answering the call to manifest more magic in your life by mastering the law of attraction. So cool. My name is Talia, and I'm committed to cutting the fluff and showing you exactly how to manifest more excitement, ease, success, abundance, confidence, love, and anything else you've been craving. So if you're ready to crack the code on manifestation, amplify your intuition, and play in the quantum, we are now besties. Let's do this. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Awakening Her podcast. Today we are talking about the power of the mind, the manifestation mindset, the thing I call the miracle mindset, and why this is so important. I'm going to give you ways to hack your brain because, as I say, and I'm not trying to be mean, we don't manifest with a lazy mind. We don't move forward with a lazy mind. We have to learn how to see life in a certain way that allows us to have feelings, allows us to move through. We're going to be sometimes sad. We're going to be sometimes happy. We're going to experience all of that, but we're also going to move forward as we do. So that's what we're talking about today. I'm going to give you some tangible practices, some ways to navigate life. It's going to be so fun. But before we do, hello, hi, welcome. My name is Talia Joy. If you are new here, I'm so excited you're here. I'm going to do a little 11 seconds today, which I haven't done in a few episodes. So my 11 seconds is where I talk for just a couple seconds on something completely random, but more personal, more casual, non-rehearsed. I barely think about what I'm going to say. I just kind of let it come out. So today I'm going to talk about the sun. And I don't know where you are in the world, but here on the west coast of Canada, the Pacific Northwest, it is spring. Spring is springing and the sun is coming out, and oh my goodness, it feels so good. It baffles my mind that people say that the sun is bad for you, like WTF. It literally gives life to plants. Yes, don't get repeatedly burnt all the time, of course, but the feeling of putting my face in the sun, of having my arms out, it feels so good and it feels so healing and it feels so right. So I have been starting and I'm practicing in the morning. First thing, I get up, go downstairs, put on the kettle for coffee, and just going outside and letting my face touch the sun. And something I learned from the medical medium is to tilt your chin up and allow the sun to go on your thyroid. And your thyroid is basically your throat in that area. So allowing the sun to just like opening up your throat, tilting your head back and just letting the sun go on it. Oh my goodness. It wakes up my cells. It feels so good. So I want to share about that. I recommend you doing the same and just getting out there and allowing your face, allowing your body to just receive those healing codes from the sun, because you guys, the sun is not bad for you. Again, don't repeatedly burn. You get those inner nudges that say, hey, put on a t-shirt, go in the shade, don't repeatedly burn. But I'm really experiencing the codes, the energy, the life force that literally grows plants and flowers and gives life to everything. It is good for you. And so I'm practicing. Let me know your thoughts about the sun. Come find me on Instagram. I would love to hear. So let's dive into the manifestation mindset. I'm so excited. So I have had a process in the last year and a half-ish. I've had a process downloading through me, and this is what happens. This is how I created my signature program, Activated, that was basically founded the core methodology. Anyway, I go in these times of downloading, and it's downloading from source, like the way things work and a way of teaching, a system, a formula. And it's so powerful when it happens. And this is what happened about a year and a half ago. And it's called the Rapid Embodiment Technique. I've got a program that has been coming through me that's probably going to be in the fall about completely shifting your reality, rapid transformation, all the good, beautiful things. And it's centered around this rapid embodiment technique. The reason I'm talking about that here is because one of the aspects, there's 3 components. It is so simple. And one of the aspects is the mindset. And that's what we're focusing on today. If you want to learn before this signature program comes out in the fall, you want to work in a high touch, small group container, I have the Ignite Mastermind, which you can see in the show notes below. It's only for like 5 or 6 people. So it's only for really the right people. Reach out if it feels right to you, and I will give you all the deets, no pressure. We want to make sure it's mutually right, but it's learning this rapid embodiment technique in a mastermind type setting. So reach out. But anyway, moving forward. The mind is such an important part of this journey. And in some ways, especially I see it this way as a spiritual teacher, as a channel, the mind is a very small part of who you truly are when we look at your aura and your soul and your past lives and who you are, the source part of you and all of this stuff, your inner child, your future self. So when we look at the fullness of who you are, your brain, your human brain is a very small part of who you are, but it is the filter. It is the filter of your experience. And because we live in an experience with universal laws like the law of attraction, what we perceive is the only thing we can receive. There are universal laws around our mind as well and perception. And literally, this is why projection exists. This is why the law of attraction exists, or, reasons that kind of how these all mingle. Is what your brain perceives certain things. And when you live in an experience where you are the victim, or when you live in an experience that there's no right people out there for you, or you live in an experience where money's hard, that is all you will ever receive, right? This is self-growth. This is manifestation. This is, law of attraction 101. You can only receive what you perceive. So your brain has different systems and parts to it, including the reticular activating system, which is the filter. Its full-time job is to distort, delete, give meaning to the things that you perceive through your senses. So if you are walking down the road and you see a bear, it's the reticular activating system taking in this information and giving it meaning. Like bear equals lack of safety, which would give you like fight or flight and information to run or whatever, right? So the reticular activating system is like the thing that gives everything meaning, and it's doing it all the time. So based on your lived experiences and your perception, you're going to literally walk around in a different experience than your neighbor or than your cousin or anyone else. We are all experiencing individual experiences. And because of the law of attraction, if your mind always says money is hard, money's a struggle, money is, never comes easily, money is the root of all evil, that is all your brain will continue to process. So I like to use the example, if you've had unfortunate experiences. And if this actually is you, I'm sending you so much love, so much love. If you've had the experience of being cheated on multiple times, you may start to have the belief that there are no good men or women or people out there, that can be faithful. It just doesn't exist. There's no good men out there. And so now, because that's a strong-seated belief based on your experiences and your perception, your brain will only ever pick up on that. So every time you meet a guy or you hear about a good guy, you might even have a thought of they seem good now, but we'll see, right? Skepticism, doubt, because your belief is so seated that your reticular activating system will actually take things in and give it meaning. So you see even a guy that's a douchebag on TV and you're like, oh, I know that type of guy. You'll start to notice it. Every guy you meet, even if they're nice, you're skeptical. You will make yourself right. That is the mind. That is why we have to understand it. So I see a lot of manifestation teachers, especially lately, being like, oh, you're still talking about mindset? You got to be talking about embodiment. And embodiment is actually one of the 3 pieces of the rapid embodiment technique. And it is very, very important. But at the end of the day, if you don't allow yourself to perceive life in a different way, you're going to have a hard time showing up for yourself, staying committed to something, understanding the power you hold, your gifts. You won't be able to bust through anything if your mind isn't on board, if you're not learning to perceive life with a miracle mindset, with a manifestation mindset, which is why I've really realized it's a core part of what I teach, but what has been my path. And as much as it's only a small part of us, if we don't master the mind, we're not mastering shit. Like, let's be real. The mind is the mastery, which then opens up all the miracles and the law of attraction, the blessings, the money, the abundance, the frequencies. Yes, that part is where I love to play in the quantum and in the energies. But if you don't master the mind, you're not getting there. It's the gatekeeper in your experience. So this is what we're talking about, a manifestation miracle mindset. So let's dive in even deeper. So the reason why I called it the miracle mindset in the rapid embodiment technique, and I've been teaching my clients this for a year, the reason why I call it the miracle mindset is because of a Albert Einstein quote. And he says there's two ways to look at life, either through nothing is a miracle or everything is a miracle. And it's actually really funny. I had this full circle moment just a month ago where I realized that my Nana, whose name is Joy, which is where I got Talia Joy. She's an angel of mine. She's the elephant's representation in anything you see of mine. My Nana. So she always recited this quote, and she had a magnet on her fridge that I actually got when she passed away that I remember looking at, and it said this quote on it. And she was a joy. She would look at life like that. Everything is a miracle or nothing is a miracle. And she would see life as everything is a miracle. And so when I was developing this again, a year and a half ago, I kept hearing miracle mindset, learning to perceive life as a miracle. So of course, there are things in life that don't feel miraculous. Of course, we all go through hard shit. And this is why I'm going to teach this. In the mastermind, it's going to be over 12 weeks. In the upcoming program in the fall, who knows how long that's going to be? I don't know yet. But it's going to take time to teach it. But today in this episode, I'm going to go over it. You're going to understand it better. I'm going to tell you all about it. And if you want to go farther, we will practice it deeper. So it's not about bypassing. I'm never one to bypass. It's a way of perceiving life. So I want you to think about a time in your life where you went through one of the biggest struggles. Maybe it was an abusive situation or a really hard mental health time where everything was really challenging. Maybe it was an addiction or anything else, a childhood, time. Now that you've moved forward and through, at least going through some of the healing work, we've become older, wiser, all those things you've moved through. There's things where I know there are aspects of what you experienced that you can look back now and go, you know what, that actually taught me this. Or I know for me, when I was bullied, one of the things that came away from that was a huge amount of empathy and self-compassion for others and not excluding people, not judging, not metaphorically being mean to the geek in the room because I'm trying to be a cool kid. Even through high school, I had that, I was friends with everybody. I was friends with all different groups in high school partly because I was bullied and I never wanted anyone else to feel excluded. So even though that was one of the worst times in my life and it happened multiple times, it was brutal, and it also helped or fueled the eating disorder and all these sort of quote unquote bad things. It actually taught me a lot, and it had me more, kind to others, all these other things. So in this case, was the bullying a bad thing or a good thing? Well, ultimately, bullying's never a good thing. I'd never say that was great, but I can see the good things that came from it. And I can see that all the shit I've been through and the abandonment and the mom issues and all the stuff has led me to be a more powerful person, the way that the bully led me to be more compassionate. So when we start to focus more on that, of how life is actually serving us, of how this is benefiting me or benefiting the higher good, then we start to see things differently. And truly, Source shows me all the time that every experience is an opportunity to grow. It's always an opportunity to step into our power. And sometimes it's feeling our feelings and going through the healing work, but it's always an opportunity to grow. So with the miracle mindset, part of what we're starting to do is away from sort of, kind of bringing your attention away from the heavier stuff and more just looking at, how does this struggle serve me? Where is life calling me to go? I went through phases where I think I've shared this before. I'd be in traffic. This was like 10 years ago, and it wouldn't be just traffic, but I would look for opportunities to practice patience. So this was before kids. I thought that I was practicing patience then. It set me up for now, I'll tell you that. But I would practice. I'd be in line at the bank, or I'd be in traffic, or I'd be, somewhere where I'm frustrated, something is taking a long time, and I'd stop and take a deep breath and go, this is the perfect opportunity to practice patience. So it's kind of funny right now in real time, realizing that was before kids, and that was probably helping me when I ended up having kids, 3 of them now. But that is the miracle mindset. That is like, there is an opportunity here. There is something here for me. Last year, I went through a major trigger that happened in my life, and it was just disproportionately big. It was emotional. It was so triggering. I was questioning everything, and I really knew, like, even though this hurts and this is painful, there's really something in here for me. And I kept saying that to my husband. I'm like, I don't know why I'm like so emotional and why this is such a big deal or whatever was going on, but there's something big in here for me. And I realized deeper aspects of myself that were unhealed, that didn't feel good enough, that were scared to be abandoned. And it was really emotional, but I learned a lot. And I actually busted forward in my growth by facing that stuff with my growth tools. So again, it's not about bypassing. It's learning to see how things are actually serving you, learning to see life as a miracle, learning to see the rain as the thing that gives the trees life, learning to see some of those challenging times for what it's teaching you. And I was even joking, like with my husband through parenting and also through COVID, I'm like, this is just turning us into like motherfucking monks, I would say, because that's me. But I'm like, this is seasoning me to, in COVID, to be okay without seeing other people, to raise 3 kids that one was a tiny baby at that point and be like stir crazy, but being, grateful we have each other, or not even that, just this is pressure cooking me into a better person somehow. And so the miracle mindset, there's so many facets to it, but really I want you to start to see life as working out for you more and more. This is where you can use the evidence of success. If you're a member of On the Path, my other podcast, there's an evidence of success tool I talk about several times, a weekly episode, a deep dive on that one. But the evidence of success is where every day you're starting to see, what, I am moving forward. There's always things we want to get to. There's always things that we think we should be farther ahead. But look at all you've done. Look at how far you've come. Look at the things that you once wished you could move through that you have now overcome, that now aren't dominating your life anymore. You are moving forward. And it's seeing those evidence of success, seeing the dimes that you find as abundance, seeing the bonus, rebate you got, or the unexpected cash or something that came in as a miracle, as a blessing. Thank you, right? So really starting to see that plus side of life, and even just softly acknowledging that the challenges teach you something. To me, the most inspiring people, the most badass people are seriously the people that have been through the most. And it doesn't mean that we need to continue going through all that stuff just because, but all of this stuff has been refining you and seasoning you and giving you wisdom and resourcefulness and depth and empathy. And now it's time to take all of that stuff and really thrive and see that by first starting with the mind. So I also want to mention how the miracle mindset, or a manifestation mindset, is also a mindset of self-growth. So this is where we're asking, like, what is here for me? Why did that trigger me so much? What maybe do I need? And I'm going to give you a nugget that, usually I have to walk people here. So this may resonate with some people, it may not with others, but every single trigger you experience is actually helping you to manifest. And this is something I teach my clients. It's trippy. So say I am wanting to manifest more money and a bill comes in the mail and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's going to take all my savings, or something happens. We need a renovation of some sort quickly. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's, not what I wanted. I'm trying to manifest money, but actually there's bills coming. And this is the point where humans go like, what the fuck, this isn't working. And they put their energy in the wrong direction of something that doesn't help. They continue in a looping pattern. This is what we do. But in that moment, that trigger. So maybe then I get the bill, I'm freaking out. I start spiraling into like, oh my goodness, we should have more in savings. I should be farther ahead by now. This is a very normal circumstance that could happen. So in that moment, when I get into my calmer state and I'm connected to source, which we always are, but for me, I go to my channel and I'm like, what is this teaching me? And in that moment, I have slipped into lack and scarcity. If you want to go deeper into this mindset stuff, I have a free guide, the Manifestation Mindset Makeover. I'll pop the link below because we talk about lack and scarcity. I just thought of it. Free guide, brand new, pop the link below. In that moment, my mind has gone into lack. So what that is calling me for in a spiritual self-growth mindset, it is calling me to reach for the frequency of abundance, to practice faith, to practice edging back into abundance, to practice trust, to get back into that better feeling place so I can come up with a solution. The lack is directly asking me, the spiritual assignment is come back to abundance. How would coming back to abundance help me to manifest abundance? It's super obvious. That's why I say some of this is like, what? But this is the stuff that we learn to hack reality. When you're triggered into lack, it's calling you to embody abundance. How would embodying abundance help you to manifest more of your goal, which in this case is abundance? Of course, it would help me manifest my goal. So when we feel insecure, this is asking us to have confidence in ourselves. So how would having confidence in yourself help you to manifest those things you've been wanting? It's trippy, every single thing. That triggered me into feeling small. Okay, feeling small spiritually is asking you to reach for that part of yourself that is sure of who you are, that is unafraid to take up space, the source part of you that is big and expansive. How would being big and expansive and confident and being unafraid to take up space, how would that help you in your life? Exactly. Every single trigger is an opportunity to flip it around into medicine that propels you forward. That's why the mind it's a small part of you, but it is literally the make or break. If you're not doing mindset work, you need to. If you haven't been already aware of things like this is the place that is the gateway drug into the rest of the stuff. We can't leap to healing. We can't leap to embodiment. We can't leap into a higher frequency without learning how to perceive life differently. So as I wrap up this episode, number one, if you want to go deep, if you're one of those few people that are ready, meaning few, because I only have a few spots in the mastermind, that you want to go through a super fun summer edition, the Ignite Mastermind, then reach out to me with all the ways below to really dive into this one aspect of the rapid embodiment technique. We will move through. But as I wrap this up, what you can do is first of all, start practicing evidence of success. Every day, start noting and writing down what are 3 things today I saw, or 1 thing, or 10 things, doesn't matter. What did I see today that is evidence of me moving forward? And everything from finding a dime to seeing your sign to recognizing that you used to struggle with your body image and you struggle less now, or you used to have a problem with alcohol and now you don't. It can be big things in your life that you're reflecting, going, hey, I am headed in a good direction. I used to be in an abusive relationship and now I'm not. So that is evidence that I'm moving forward. Holy crap, good job, me. All the way into the everyday life stuff, right? Today I got an unexpected bonus. Today I got clarity on something. A new client reached out to me today. All these little things, start to notice how you're moving forward. Did you go for a walk? Did you remember your vitamins? Did you drink water? Were you kind to yourself? Note it, note it, note it. And as you start to see this, you start to perceive more of your success than of your failure. And what you perceive instantly, the universe comes, green car, the universe comes and matches what you see. What you see in your brain will get multiplied. You will see more and more what you see in your mind, I should say. So, well, it is your brain, but you know. So why I said green car is because this is a classic law of attraction technique I love to teach. Bring up in your mind a green car, a green car, a green car. Imagine yourself driving it, seeing it. There's green cars everywhere. Oh my goodness, maybe green trucks, green SUVs, all the things, all these different kinds of green vehicles everywhere. Get it in your mind, green car, green car. Now when you go into reality, you are going to start seeing green cars. And the more green cars you see, you're going to go, holy shit, there's green cars everywhere. What? What? And you're going to know this is the miracle mindset. This is the power of your mind. The more green cars you see and perceive, the law of attraction brings more into your experience and you start seeing them everywhere. Go practice it. Green car. Let me know on Instagram. Tag me, show me, DM me. Let me know you're doing it and how many green cars you see, because this is the power of the mind and what we perceive. So you're going to write down evidence of success. Every day, the more you do it, the more momentum you get. You're going to start to see green cars. If you want help implementing a powerful mindset with ongoing tools, consider On the Path, the private podcast, the other show that is all about breaking down the work. But I also want you to start reflecting, and I'll put this in the show notes. I want you to start asking yourself, how am I moving forward? Where are all the evidence in my life that I have moved forward? Do a journal entry. Use some of the prompts below. Just what are some of the things I've overcome? What are some of the things that I've become better at in the last 6 months? Where in the last week have I had breakthroughs? Where in the last 10 years have I changed my life? And really start seeing yourself as moving forward. And then last aspect, last tangible takeaway that you can do is when you are in your day and you are especially triggered with the everyday things, like you're feeling rushed or there's traffic or there's a large vet bill to pay, like the everyday stuff, just practice and let it seep in and take a second, take a breath and ask, how could this be serving me, or what is here for me? How can I spin this into a miracle mindset? The traffic is teaching you patience, or even if you're on your way somewhere and you feel like I'm going to be late, instead of just freaking out, be like, what is this teaching me? Okay, I can phone the dentist and say, you know what? I'm stuck in traffic. There's an accident. I'm going to be 10 minutes late. That's like owning my shit, clearly communicating. Even that is a self-growth way to handle something instead of just like, why does this always happen to me? Of course, this is my luck. Oh, now I'm going to be late again. Let's not even fuck around with that stuff. Let's just move forward. It is what it is. How can we handle this a little bit, not maturely, but it's kind of like big girl pants. That's why I say that, because sometimes we just start flailing. I know I do. First, my hand is up first, because truly, it's easy to slip into reaction, slip into negative thoughts, why we can't do it. But it's time to turn that around and start perceiving life differently. So I hope this served you, my love. Go out, try those practices, and know this is truly the biggest part of manifestation, because manifestation is the art of physical creation here in the physical. We want to manifest money, things, more joy. It's going to come through the physical. It's going to come through you and the way you perceive your life and what you're willing to do for yourself and how you believe in yourself and the confidence you hold. And when you start believing, I'm the luckiest person I know, or things are always panning out for me, or this is somehow serving me, or I am going to find a way. This is somehow helping me in life. When we start to reach for that more, you will be surprised the blessings and synchronicities and openings that come from a powerful mindset like that. It's going to make all the difference. I am so excited to support you in that. And if you want to go further, you can check the show notes below for the mastermind, for On the Path, and for some brand new digital courses and free stuff that I have going on. I'll put it all down there. Okay, my love, that's it. I'm out. I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for your time and tuning into this episode. I really hope that it served you. And before you go, I'd love to give you a free workbook to help you upgrade your manifestation mindset. In this workbook, we're going to go through the 5 most common unconscious blocks that are holding you back. I'm going to show you how it's showing up in your life, and most importantly, the manifestation mindset shift that you need to unblock yourself. So grab the Manifestation Mindset Makeover free workbook now, and let's get to unblocking.